Truth be told is nothing is given to you guaranteed on a silver platter. You may want something, but oftentimes you'll get rejected. How do you deal with that? Well, first thing we need to establish is, what is rejection? For the sake of this video, we're just going to say that rejection is anything that you attempt to gain, whether that's attention, a job, an opportunity, but you inevitably fall short. Basically where you don't get your own way. That's the long and short of it. For simplicity's sake. I don't care what it is, whether it's for a job, a girl, maybe you had a test and it didn't come back your way, you got a 3 or a 4 when you're aiming for a 6 or a 7. That's rejection, for the sake of this video. How does rejection feel? Just think about it. You didn't get what you wanted. How does that make you feel? Because the first step to handling a rejection is to really note down how you behave when you get rejected, right? It's sort of what I was saying a couple weeks ago about being mindful of yourself, having mindfulness of what you're doing when certain events happen. Do you doubt yourself? Do you cope? Do you blame the opposing party? Whatever it is. As long as you know how you feel, this is all the first step into being better at handling rejection. We're irrational creatures. Like, people often say, oh yeah, logically speaking, this, that and the other are, you know, facts and logic. We are not factual and logical creatures. We are emotional, unstable. So of course rejection is going to feel like ass. Of course it is. Why does rejection suck? Well, there's a couple of reasons, but the main one is loss aversion, right? We hate losing more than we want to win. So if we lose the opportunity that we have been given, there's a little part inside of our brain that's like, oh, this opportunity is never going to happen again. How can I ever show my face knowing that I've been rejected? Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's your pride and dignity, whether it's you spent some money on whatever, like you made an investment and it didn't come back your way, it wasn't a good return on investment, or even if it's spending time on something. You revised for your test, you spent a lot of time on that test, revising, doing exam questions, and yet you still got a 3. That's rejection. And of course that sucks because you're never going to see that time again. And even in the case of rejection, I've said this before, it's the loss of that opportunity. You had the opportunity to prove yourself towards something, whether it's to a girl, whether it's to an employer, whether it's to your teachers. You have lost that opportunity to prove how good you are. And that's why it sucks. And above all else, I don't want to show my face to somebody after I've been rejected, because God knows how they think of me right now. Like, I was the guy who didn't get that many views on his last video. I was the guy who failed the science test. I was the guy that Becky rejected to go to Starbucks. And I was going to pay for her full frappo. That's another thing. Unreal. Can't show my face anymore. But it's also selfish, isn't it? Because what do you notice about all the examples that I've been given? It's all about what I want. I don't want to get rejected. This is what I want. Me, me, me. I want the date. I want the test to go well. I want views on my YouTube channel. Me, 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 me. Doesn't matter. So it's very, very easy to get blinded of the feeling. That's why I asked you guys earlier, how do you feel when you get rejected? Because once you understand those feelings, you can look past them and think objectively, about the fact that you've been rejected. That was not intended to sound similar. There is a logical reason to why you got rejected. So behind all the feelings and how much it sucks to get rejected, chances are there is a reason why the opposing party didn't pick you. And the reason is more often than not completely and utterly your fault. Whether it's you didn't put in the effort, you were too needy, or I don't know, you're just ugly and no one wants to date you. Doesn't matter. It's all your fault, right? And that might be the logical reason why you were rejected, okay? But here's the thing. We can use that to our advantage, because once we get rejected, what we can do is we can really analyze what happened so that next time we won't get rejected. So here is an exercise. Think back to a time where you got rejected and say out loud how it was, what happened. Do not twist and turn, be as raw as possible. What happened when you got rejected? So I'm going to do this as well. Think back to a time where I got rejected. I not recently, a couple months ago, competed in a BJJ tournament, right? I basically trained, I want to say, every single day for about a month and a half. What happened was, I won my first 2 fights, so I won 2 fights. And then, third fight happened, and this is where the rejection comes from. I got slept in the first minute. Yeah, that's actually this is a true story. I signed up to do some jiu-jitsu, trained my socks off, but I only won 2 fights. The first fight was kind of one-sided. Second fight was a really close fight. Third fight, I shot a takedown, snatched up the guillotine, and then I was up in the shadow realm talking to Ben Askren. I got slept. But that's not all. Our story doesn't end there. Because like I said, we want to talk about everything that happened. Sorry, I'm on highlighter mode. Where's my pen? Second division. I got submitted. In the opening round. That's all happened. Literally, after I got slept from my weight division, guy ended up winning the entire tournament, so that really hurts. Second division, and then I get slept in the opening round. Well, I didn't get slept. This time I got submitted and I tapped out. I lost my foot, got foot locked, and I lost. Got submitted. So that is my story of rejection. Notice what happens when I describe it. It's completely objective. Like, this happened. This happened. There's nothing I'm leaving out. This is entirely what happened. I mean, your story might be a lot more worded, but my story, I'm going to shorten it just a tad. Just a tad to fit it all into one page, right? Because I'm writing down what I'm doing. But it's completely objective, right? We can use these facts, because like I said, this actually happened, to improve our next attempt. Why did I get slept on the first time? Oh, okay, actually I'm going to do it on this page. So I got slept, because of a sloppy takedown. I got submitted because I didn't fix a bad habit that I've had literally every tournament this year. I have a very bad habit. If you're a jiu-jitsu guy, you'll know about this. But whenever I used to come up after a sweep, I wouldn't go into combat base. I would go into reverse combat base, where the foot is next to the opponent's hip, past the leg line, which means I'm very, very open for footlock territory. And I didn't fix that bad habit. And above all else, I didn't train defense. So, okay. So now I'm using what happened during my fight to improve on the next tournament, which I don't know when that will be. But now we can put that into perspective. Okay? And learning from rejection is one of the best forms of learning. Why? Because it sucks. It is emotional. Think back to a time which was emotional for everyone. Like, I don't know, Kobe Bryant. When Kobe Bryant died, what were you doing? I remember what I was doing. I was revising waves in the learning center in my sixth form, right? I was revising waves. It was a question on diffraction and superposition. Yeah? 10 days later, what were you doing? You don't remember. So, learning from rejection is the best form of learning because it is emotional. Yeah? Because the situation sucked, we will remember this experience. Like, think about a time when, I don't know, someone yelled at you for whatever reason. You probably know not to do whatever it is again. Like when you were a kid and your parents, for whatever reason, were screaming at you not to do something. That was a scary experience, wasn't it? Letting your parents down. From then on, you don't really do that thing anymore, do you? So now let's look at exercise 2. View the situation from the opposing party as to why they would reject you. Okay? So, what, in this situation, right, what would an opposing party, so my opponent, why would they do what they needed to do? Well, they also want to win. Yeah? Of course. So it's not even like I lost to some horrible beings, like they are so awful, how dare they beat me? They also wanted to win. So of course they rejected me from that opportunity to win 2 gold medals there. They also wanted to win. And they also... And to be honest, I probably could have got that takedown if I didn't do certain things. Like, just have a think. Why did... Okay, let's do another example. Let's do another example. I've never been rejected by a girl, right? Because I haven't asked one out. But, why would a girl reject me? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm too skinny. Happens. I don't know. What else is a girl looking for? Maybe this girl wants someone who is making an active income. Yeah? Or maybe it might even be as silly as they have overprotective parents. Yeah, so maybe that's why the girl could have rejected you. Yeah? You approach them at a time where they have overprotective parents, and their parents are more focused on, like, I don't know, Becky, do well in school, don't go to Starbucks. Starbucks costs bare money and they don't pay tax. Focus on your work, don't focus on boys. So that's probably why they rejected you, and you approached them during that time. Like, this is the important thing. If you can see things from your opponent's perspective, this can be a powerful tool into not only being better at handling rejection, but also stopping yourself from being rejected in the first place, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, here's some quick tips. Do not chase your L, okay? The fight happened. It ain't gonna happen again. Move on. I'm not gonna be sniping my opponents on smooth comp until eventually they show their faces again and be like, yep, gotta chase back that win. No. Accept your L. Accept the L. Alright? Move on. You've learnt from it. Do not chase it. Same thing with the girl. Wait, no, I have been rejected by a girl. Yeah. That's what I did. Yeah. That's what I did. I didn't follow through with that. But I ended up coping and being like, yeah, no shit. I'll just tell her again how I feel, because I'm Sammy G and I only care about myself. Yeah, she was definitely the girl for me. Yeah? How sad does that sound? Don't chase your L. She's gone. She either has a man now, or she never wanted one in the beginning. Don't chase your L. Same with the job interview. If a job interview's like, sorry, we've gone with someone else, don't pester that job interview. Be like, are you sure? What could I have done different? No. Now, sometimes jobs will tell you what you could have done different, but bro, you're one of 100, 200 applicants. They're not gonna give you feedback. Don't chase your L. Okay? It happened. Move on, learn from it. I know that we've spoken about, like, being emotional and how that can be our detriment, but let it out of your system. Really do vent about it. Whether it's screaming and ranting and saying it out loud, because if you say it out loud, slowly but surely you actually think to yourself, wait a minute, why am I so mad about this? Or if you want, write it in your diary. Just let it out of your system. We're emotional creatures. We need to vent out our emotions. But if you're going to be emotional, do not be discouraged. Like I said, rejection is inevitable. It's going to happen. And you can be rejected 1,000,000 times. But chances are you only need acceptance in whatever the hell you want once. That's all you need. Just once you need to be right, and that's it. You've won. So don't be discouraged and keep going. Now let's talk about how to never get rejected. You can't! Stop trying to avoid ejection. I said ejection there. Stop trying to avoid rejection. We've told you. This is inevitable. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. But what we can do is we can change our attitude towards rejection. Let me explain what I mean. A lot of people, when they approach an opportunity, they expect nothing. And although this is not too bad of a response, It's one of the most misunderstood mentalities I have ever seen put in practice. Most people, including my past self, see expecting nothing as, oh, well, I have nothing anyway, so if I lose, then I don't feel as emotional. What? That's the most silly thing I've ever heard in my entire life. Because, number one, in practice, that's not going to happen. You're still going to feel, whether you like it or not, worse that you got rejected than happy that you got accepted. That's just how it is. I'm sorry. And two, that is one of the most self-deprecating mentalities to have, because you're giving up before you even started. Instead, believe what you're trying to achieve is already reality. So when I got into my comp, right, I had already, like in my mind, I had already got 2 gold medals. It's as simple as that. I already thought that I had it. You know? So that way, instead of thinking that rejection is me not winning the medals, instead it's me losing my gold medals. And remember what we said before, we hate losing more than we love winning. If you can't do that, because for whatever reason you can't, think of it as a fun challenge. Okay, I get if whatever happens, I'm just gonna YOLO this competition. Like, this is what I did in Brighton competition. This was me. I had just finished my exams. I had maybe a week to train. I was just gonna approach it and just YOLO, do the techniques that I know, and just like fight different people with different body types and different reactions to my techniques, just for training. And I had a lot of fun, even though the second fight I lost and it was kind of a bad decision, but I can completely understand why the ref gave it to that person. To be fair, it was my fault that I lost that fight, but I still don't agree with the decision. But either way, it was a fun challenge. So you have 2 different mindsets. You can either believe that whatever you're pursuing is already your reality, and so therefore you have something to lose, or you can just treat it as a complete YOLO exercise where you're indifferent either way, and you still give it everything you got, because why? It's fun. And we like having fun, don't we? The important thing is, no matter what your mentality is, be prepared for the opportunity. Understand what the other person wants to see. I'm going to mention this so many times in this video. Does your crush want to see you looking at her like this? Or like this? Which one? Of course, good eye contact, smile on your face, and with the 6-pack, double biceps, and the good neck, of course. Be prepared with what the other person wants to see. If you do that better than everyone else, you will not get rejected. It's a simple concept. It's not easy, but it's very simple. Now I know what you're thinking, but Sammy, I don't do stuff for other people, I only do it for me. Well, yes, you should only do this opportunity for you, but again, this is another thing that people misunderstand. I see a lot of people say, like especially on YouTube, people are like, oh, I only upload what I want, I don't do I do it for me and whatnot. 0 subs, no views, shush, right? You have to find the balance between doing what you want and doing what other people want, because no one cares about you. They only care about what you have to offer to them. Do you understand? So if you have an opportunity that is genuinely good for you, take it and smash it. Do you understand? If it's that job interview, for example, it's that company that you've been working oh so hard to train for, prepare for the interview, understand what questions they're going to ask, understand what the company's ethos is, and then you're gonna smash everyone else. But even if you don't, right, and you get rejected, that is a skill that you can get for yourself. And if you improve on yourself, that is dangerous, because you can't reject you. If you don't reject you and you create your own opportunities, you'll never get rejected, no matter how many people say no to you. Right, that's going to be the video, guys. Here are some quick tips that can help you. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. I think this is my 106th video on this channel, right? And I'm currently in the process of editing my 95th video, 35th this year, on my main channel. I have got one video over 1,000 views this year. The second one has got, second highest is 500. Okay? I can easily just retire and be like, no, doesn't work, whatever. Or I can realize, okay, what did this video do well? Aha, I know an audience that will really appreciate that video. What did that second video do? Aha, it's a video where it's a contrarian take and I present it in a way that's both funny, entertaining, but also a little bit controversial, which gets me that love-hate relationship with the audience that is also valuable this year. Keep trying. Doesn't matter how many people say no. Keep trying. Try again, try again, try again. Literally bread and butter. Understand the social situation between you and the person who is rejecting you. If it's some random... I'm not going to say that word. If it's some random girl who, let's be honest, you like, but you know nothing about her, and she says no to you, okay, yeah, it sucks. But in reality, so what? So what? Oh no, she's going to tell her friends about you. Oh no, she's going to tell girls that you don't like because you didn't ask them out. And they are people who are close to the people who rejected you. Make that make sense, and you're mad about that. A job interview rejected you. Oh no. Some random guy in a suit said, no, I can't work for you. Some guy in a suit didn't call me back. Primark rejected me. People in literal Primark clothing rejected me. Oh no. So, listen. what I'm not doing is I'm not suggesting that these are invalid things to discuss, right? Like, to be emotional about. Like, hell, a bunch of those situations I was talking about myself there. But what I'm saying is if it's like your parents, then of course, if you get rejected by your parents, absolutely be emotional. And again, you can't really learn from that, but try and mend that and do what you need to do. But if it's a rando, let's be honest, most opportunities that come your way is from a rando. Remember that a lot of the feeling of rejection is down to the fact that if we were rejected during the prehistoric era, that would mean that we are in danger. It would mean that someone else would have stolen our family, our food, and our territory. That's what that means. So really understand the social situation between you and the rejecting party. And finally, the most important thing, I put it in bold, underlined, and italic. Say it with me, guys. Think things from the other person's point of view. I promise this, like, honestly, I'm just going to write this down. This is your bread and butter. You do this, you're going to be a very successful person. It does not matter who you are, because I can see, if you can see things from someone else's perspective, I promise you, you will be rejected less, you'll have more opportunities. And even if you don't get those opportunities your way, you will learn so much. Thank you very much for watching. I know you might not have a lot of opportunities, but I know you guys want to pass your exams very well. If you guys, where the hell is my cursor? There it is. If you guys want to pass your exams with flying colours, drop me an email to get tutored by me, and we can organise a meeting and a quote. Keep on learning, as you have no idea what you're capable of doing.